here for a lunar read, we need to see how you're starting the month off. I mean, you are coming out of eclipse season, retrograde season. Venus and Mercury will be going direct in the month of April. So you might have had a rough March. You need to see how this month is going for you. Okay, check your chart. You might have sun or moon in a water sign, and messages in here will definitely resonate with you. If you haven't already, like the video, subscribe to the channel, follow my socials for my other shenanigans. Pricing and contact information will be in the description box down below. All the info will be in the pinned comment in the comment section. Breathe. Okay, so we've already pulled one card to see how that new moon and solar eclipse in the sign of Aries affected you guys. It took place at the end of March, but it's your conclusion to a very turbulent time. We're going to see how it has affected you. So overall energy is recover, retrace, and retry. This is my second chance card. You getting the chance to try something again, right? Not with this though. Karmic partner. So unfortunately, I see some water signs here might be repeating a cycle with a karmic individual, with a toxic individual in regards to a certain relationship. Or water signs, I could be warning you about this during this time. I'm hearing ain't no need to go back down memory lane. Retrograde season is over. All right. There's no reason for you to pick something back up that you threw away in the garbage. Do you do that? No. So no talking to exes. All right. That should be I'm hearing that should be the title of this reading. No talking to exes. Let's see what we can see. Spirit guides, how has this new moon and solar eclipse in the sign of Aries affected all water signs? How has this new moon and solar eclipse in the sign of Aries affected? Okay. The Knight of Cups. Hello, Scorpio, with the Three of Wands. So the Knight of Cups for me is about exploring and or pursuing something that you are attracted to or pull towards. Three of Wands, Page of Wands, and the Ace of Swords. And water signs, it looks like you want to, I just heard leave the nest. So some of you guys might want to move out of a certain home, maybe move away from family. Not that you don't fuck with family, it's just maybe you want to have your own, all right? Some of you guys want to travel more. I'm seeing some of you guys want to enroll in some sort of program. Not you want to do something with your life, water signs. No, I like this. Please don't take offense to that. Wait a minute. Queen of Cups in reverse. Four of Wands. Well, yeah. This is some of you guys not wanting to be a part of something anymore because you want to pursue something else for yourself. Yeah, you want to separate from one thing because you want something or someone somewhere else. In some cases, I see somebody here. This is regarding a connection. I see someone feels as though they are stuck in a relationship with somebody through children, family, or a household. And with the Knight of Cups, they really want to be an eligible bachelor or bachelorette. A water sign feels this way or someone feels this way about a water sign. Aries is strong and Leo is strong. Virgo, Taurus. Yikes. That's kind of messy. Kind of messy. Yeah, this is, oh my God. You know, I just heard somebody here is not stimulated. Somebody here is not stimulated by a certain living situation, relationship, job. Knight of Cups. Like, I want to pursue my passions, my dreams. Or I want to, I want to be pursuing my desires. It makes sense. That makes sense to me. Spirit guides, how has this new moon and solar eclipse in the sign of Aries affected all water signs? How has this new moon and solar eclipse in the sign of Aries affected all water signs? Nine of Cups with the Two of Wands. Another water sign card, by the way. Now, I see some water signs being happy with the choice that they made to separate from something. It's like, I'm glad I made this transition. I'm glad I decided to let that go. I'm glad I decided to walk away from that. Knight of Cups and the Nine of Cups. I'm a lot happier. I'm content. I'm satisfied. I'm fulfilled. This is some water signs being happy that they decided to pursue something. Two of Wands, Sun card, Judgment, and the Tower. They didn't let the thought of something not working out keep them from pursuing it. And now that they have it, now that they are enjoying it, they're like, yeah, that was a good decision. Okay, water signs. I see you feeling this way about something in the month of April. Or going forward, because eclipses affect us a lot longer than just a couple of days or weeks. How has this new moon and solar eclipse in the sign of Aries affected all water signs? How has this new moon and solar eclipse in the sign of Aries affected all water signs? The Eight of Swords with the Nine of Wands. And I see some water signs here can't get it out their mind. It's like, oh my gosh, I want to be more happy. I want to be more content. I want to be more fulfilled. But don't knock the messenger. You know, I can fight. Nine of Wands. Some water signs aren't really doing anything to combat it. You know, it's like you want better for yourself. That's step one. You know that there's a process. But with the Nine of Wands, it's like they're not going past wanting more for themselves. I'm so sorry, water signs. Please. Hey, girl, the cards don't lie. Nine of Wands, Empress, and the Seven of Swords. Yeah, girl, I knew it. Unfortunately, I see some water signs here. It's like they rather just think about doing it, fantasize about doing it, than actually doing it. Because Seven of Swords and the Devil card. That would mean having to give up something that they don't want to give up. They want to stay in something that they have become dependent on. Now, in some cases, it's a person. Nine of Wands, Empress, Devil, and the Seven of Swords. I got this person right where I want them. They act exactly how I want them to act. Or, you know, this person, no, they always stick beside me. Yeah, you know what I just heard? Oh my God. Does it sound bad? I just heard, what fun is that? You know, how do you know who you really fucking with if this person is just around out of desperation or absence or limited inventory? Yeah, some water signs need not fool themselves. You're not happy because you're settling for someone or you're settling for a certain way of living, babe. And it's like, yeah, but I have everything I have everything I need. I have what I need to get by. How long you think that lasts? How long you think the comfort from having what you need to get by lasts? Spirit guys, how has this new moon and solar eclipse in the sign of Aries affected all water signs? How has the new... Okay, it's booty up, so I'm not going to read it. How has this new moon and solar eclipse in the sign of Aries affected all water signs? The Seven of Pentacles with the Page of Wands. I know sometimes I don't feel like hearing that shit either. Water signs, if you want change in your life, you have to enact change in your life. Page of Wands, Judgment, and the Knight of Swords. Like, it's not enough to pray. It's not enough for you to write it down in a journal. and enough for you to write it on a vision board, okay? You have to actually set out to make changes happen in your life. Page of Wands, we need some action, okay? We need some effort. We need some output. Otherwise, you're just going to be sitting on that couch. Seven of Pentacles and the Eight of Swords, waiting for better days, waiting for your circumstances to change. Recover, retrace, and retry, but you're not doing anything different, you know? And you also need to be careful about who you surround yourself with, because people who are okay with, I'm hearing running the rat race or just running around, not really headed anywhere, will try to make you feel comfortable doing the same thing too. Little do you know, they redirecting you. You got the wrong people in your ear. Nine of Swords, the wrong influence around you. Spirit guys, how has this new moon and solar eclipse in the sign of Aries affected all water signs? How has this new moon and solar eclipse in the sign of Aries affected all water signs? Knight of Swords, unannounced, unprepared, and uninvited. You got two knights. You got the Knight of Cups and the Knight of Swords. Some of you guys can't hold on to some good moments to justify you still keeping a relationship. I see some water signs. It's like there's a relationship with a fellow water sign, a Gemini, Aquarius, or Virgo so far. There'll definitely be more. And it's like they're not realizing, like, hey, I don't think this is it. You don't think this is it. Not everybody feels this way. Only the people who feel like with the Knight of Cups and the Knight of Swords, you're hot and then you're cold. You know, like sometimes you all in for this person, and other days you're like, I don't know if I want to be with this person. One day you think it can work, the next day you like, girl, am I wasting my time? If you don't get off this carousel, because that's what it looked like. Now some people, you know, children, time, history, family, those components might be a little bit hard to, might make it a little bit more difficult for you to make a decision. Excuse me. You know what I just heard? But you're trading time for convenience. Only one of those you can get back. Only one of those can be restored. Spirit guys, how has this new moon and solar eclipse, in the sign of Aries affecting, how has this new moon and solar eclipse in the sign of Aries affected all water signs? And this just isn't in regards to love. This is in regards to your own behaviors, okay? Are you sitting on the couch and life is passing you by? Queen of Cups in reverse, with the Queen of Pentacles upright. Now, technically, water sign women, that could definitely be you. But if it is you, listen, I always say, don't ever be easily impressed. Okay? At least nothing. Never cheer for it, the least somebody does for you. Knight of Cups and the Knight of Swords, especially whenever it comes to romance. Water sign women, I see some of you guys are turned off by somebody who can't communicate. If you're showing up as a queen and they can't show up as a king, problem. They can't communicate. They can't articulate themselves. But yet they expect you to wait around. They still expect for you to put up with them. Are you kidding? Some of you guys could have went through this with a fellow water sign, Gemini, Aquarius, Virgo, Sagittarius. Like, girl, let me exit stage left. I ain't even. No. Because there's somebody here who do this shit on purpose. Nine of Wands. Like, oh, I didn't know that would offend you. Or, oh, I didn't know. Yeah, you don't know a lot. if for you, emotional intelligence as a Queen of Cups or a King of Cups is very importante. And if someone can't figure out when Knight of Swords, they inconvenience you, they act inconsiderate, there's no mission, there's no goal in mind with this person, or goals in mind with this person, please. I'm not your teacher. I ain't finna, feed it to you. Spirit guys, how has this new moon and solar eclipse in the sign of Aries affected all water signs? How has this new moon and solar eclipse in the sign of Aries affected all water signs? The Emperor. Check your chart. You might have Mars in a water sign, but this is also divine masculine. So the women and the men are out here. Yeah, sometimes you got to get off that couch. Emperor, you got to make some shit shake. Water signs, a lot of you guys are realizing this about yourself. Knight of Cups, Seven of Pentacles, and the Emperor. If I got to wait, I'm only waiting on me. Meaning I can only control my own actions. So if I'm on pause, it's because I'm choosing to be on pause and not because, I'm being unproductive. Because I do see that out here. Knight of Swords and the Eight of Swords. A lot of you guys have realized you got to get more productive. Get more productive. Get more organized. Get more consistent. In regards to anything, If recover, retrace, and retry, you're realizing there's something about you or your surroundings or your environment or your habits that needs to be fixed. You got to be honest with yourself. You got to be willing to, look yourself in the mirror and be like, you fucking up. You got to be willing. How has this new moon and solar eclipse in the sign of Aries affected all water signs? How has this new moon and solar eclipse in the sign of Aries affected all water signs? The Tower. Definitely Mars in the water sign. 2 Mars cards with the Lovers. Yeah, I'm so sorry. Water signs. A love connection with an air sign. I don't see it working. I'm so sorry. This Gemini, this Aquarius, definitely this Gemini. No disrespect. But this air sign person, I don't see it working. Y'all, no. This is somebody here that want to be able to talk to you however they want, treat you however they want, be however they want, and you still just be around. Okay. They want you to be a fool, and I don't want that for you, water sign. They're not being considerate of you. It's like they want you to stay in wanderlust regarding them while they get to do foolish shit. And, you don't listen to my playing your face. And water signs, be careful about not being willing to let something go with somebody. It's like, oh, well, I get satisfaction sometime. You know what that sounds like to me, right? You're settling, okay? And you're not allowing somebody else to go out and maybe find they true love. Or yours. Some water signs are putting up with a literal failing relationship because they get satisfaction sometimes. Now, I understand relationships aren't always A+, but Knight of Swords and the Tower. Girl, this is shit has been done that should be uncomebackable. Like, we shouldn't be able to forgive that. We can't, no. But yet and still, Emperor, and it's because someone here, this is over when I say it's over. I don't know, this is dealing with somebody who is very controlling, karmic partner, or this is dealing with someone who I might not want you, but I don't want to see somebody else have you. What is behind karmic partner? Fraud, scammer, and liar. Yeah, a false individual. This is someone who knows that if they have to stand alone, if they can't be in a relationship, people are going to see them for who they truly are. Why did I just hear a nobody? Sometimes people will wear you as accessories. Spirit Guides, last card. How has this new moon and solar eclipse in the sign of Aries affected all water signs? I mean, oh my goodness. So water signs, be careful about this going on around you currently, or water signs, this could have already happened. Queen of Cups in reverse, and you want nothing to do with whoever that was. Like, ew. I said this. I think I said this in the Earth sign reading. Like, girl, did I bump my head? Why was I on this side of town? And whoever that person is, I don't really feel like they've recovered from that rejection due to the fact that you were someone who I feel like they were really interessante. They were actually interested in, but with the Knight of Cups, they wasn't able to meet you. Look at you. You showing up as an emperor or a queen, while this person is showing up as a knight. Knight of Cups and the Knight of Swords. They you know, they weren't man enough, they weren't woman enough. And if you think you're finna come in my house with all that hoopla, no, that's crazy. No. Yeah, this person wanted to bring instability to a stable person and thought that the stable person was just gonna be, well, I'll fix you, sir. And some of y'all had to bow out. Some of y'all was like, girl, not around here, okay? This is not the cobble station. You won't be getting worked on. You need therapy, all right? Page of Swords. And now this person just watches you. Oh, my God. It's very creepy. They watch you. They might have other people watch you. They might have an account that they watch you from that you don't know about. They have different ways of watching you. You know what I just heard? If this person know where you live, they drive past your house. If they know where you work, they might show up at your job. They'll try to frequent places that they know that you're at. Hop out the bushes. Like, fuck is you doing? A very weirdo. Yeah. I mean, I mentioned it earlier. You know, if I can't have you, nobody can. But mind you, this person don't know how to have you. You know, sucks to lose, buddy. It's a very weird individual. Gemini, Aquarius, Virgo, Aries, and Taurus. Also, be aware of Emperor, Tower, and the Hierophant whenever, you know, whoever you believe in. When something bigger than you is trying to knock some shit over, and you keep, let me put it back together. Knocked it, you know, and shit keep getting knocked over, and you keep trying to put it back together. Take the hint. Recover, retrace, and retry. You ever keep going through a similar situation over and over again, it's usually because you're not learning your lesson, all right? Once you don't have to keep dealing with something no more, you learned your lesson. I see that with people. Y'all, listen, as someone who has been in the QC in Charlotte most of my life, but I've lived in different places, but Charlotte is the only place to where I went. I haven't done all schooling, but I've been a kid, a teenager, a young adult, and a grown woman. All right, did I do all elementary here? I did some elementary here, no middle school here. Yeah, I did no middle school in Charlotte. But I did high school, college, and living on my own in Charlotte, okay? And there's been people who, once I was like, this is done, because, you know, when people done with me, They just like, you know, girl, I gotta go to timeout real fast. You know, they talking to themselves, not me. You know, girl, I'm gonna be where I be. But whenever I'm, you know, done, like I want nothing to do with you, I never see you again. I never see you again. I make sure of that. And I think the universe does too. You will recognize that whenever you are done with people, the universe makes sure to keep them away from you. No need to see them. No need to run into them. For what? I gotta get out of here, y'all. I gotta wash these dishes and give me a quick nap before I have to go to work. Sad story. I already called out the signs, right? You could have Sun, Moon, or Mars in a water sign.